Okay, Xiaorui, let's take a look at this essay you've written here about part-time jobs. Here's what you said. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether students should spend time working while finishing their school courses. Some believe that students should only concentrate, without the B, on their academic achievement. Personally, I strongly disagree with this viewpoint. This essay will argue about that a part-time job is beneficial to most of the students in their later life, using the examples from the UK government and the University of Edinburgh to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, fine. On one hand, there is ample evidence showing that a part-time job takes up the time and energy which was supposed to be used in academic, no AL, work. As a result, the more time students spend on working, the larger impact there will be on their academic performance. Therefore, most of the European countries, have regulations restricting the amount of time a student is allowed to spend on part-time jobs. For example, the weekly working hour, that doesn't make sense. All right, let's figure out that. For postgraduates in the UK is limited to no more than 10 hours. This is to ensure an adequate amount of time is spent, with a T, on learning with an R, and young adults concentrate on their major task at the current life stage. All right, there's some awkwardness here. This was really awkward, but I don't really know entirely how to rephrase it for you. Maybe the work week. Let's see, for example, the work week, yeah, you could have said that, is limited to no more than 10 hours. That makes sense. And this was weird, too. Their major task during the current life stage. It's just a little awkward in terms of the expression here, so it doesn't feel particularly natural. Let's move on. On the other hand, although a part-time job, again, you keep missing these articles here, a part-time job may divide a student's focus. The benefits of part-timing, I don't really care for that word, part-time work would be good here. Not shall, but should not be neglected. It must not be forgotten. No, it must is what you mean here. It must not be forgotten that there are repeated, no, evidence is uncountable, so it has to be, there is considerable evidence showing that people who work before graduation will be more successful in their career life. Well, we don't usually say career life, we say in their professional life. Or in their career, full stop. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, these people started accumulating connections earlier than late starters. All right, so what does that mean? Help me. Explain to me how that's important. Secondly, the career-related skills they gain during part-time work, will benefit them in their first official job. For example, recent empirical research by the University of Edinburgh demonstrated that 90% of all young graduates who got promoted within 2 years after starting their job had working experience before graduation. Therefore, it is possible to state beyond doubt that working part-time will benefit students in the long term. Okay, good. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that students shall spend reasonable, not shall, but should. There's a difference between those two modal verbs, so make sure you're familiar with the difference. For graduation is what you want here, or graduating would have been okay, but it's better to prefer the noun form. It is predicted that pre-graduation work experience, without the ing, will increasingly grow in importance. Okay, so this is really good in that it follows a template really closely. Your task achievement, I felt, was pretty good, except for 1 or 2 areas where I said you needed to extend things a little further. I would probably say that the weakest area here was your vocabulary. You had some areas of awkwardness. It doesn't feel so much like a grammar error as it does vocabulary error. Apart from that, I also felt like some of this vocabulary, I didn't really see much in terms of like higher level collocations. There really wasn't anything there or any like higher level vocabulary. So that's something I would have wanted to see a little more of. On the whole, it's a good effort. I did like it. Okay, so with that, I want to move on to your task 1. Let's see where it is. Okay, so school subjects in Germany, fine. The pie chart illustrates the popularity of 7 school courses. Let's see, what did you say? With percentage in Germany. No, this is awkward. Let's fix it. The pie chart illustrates the popularity of 7 school courses in Germany in 2017. You don't even need to say the thing about percentage. It's not necessary. 4 out of 7 subjects were most well received by schools in Germany. Well, they weren't well received by school, but they were popular among the students. So that's not really an accurate expression here. Which are PE, history, physics, and maths. All of them gained more than 18% popularity. Well, you don't really gain, that's not really the best word here, but more than that, you need to say each, because it almost sounds as if you're saying the total of these 4 subjects was 18%. So really be careful with that. All right, now, also another thing you need to know is that you can't use whereas like this. Whereas needs to connect to contrasting ideas, and here it does not. So you could have said here, in contrast, the remaining 3 were far less preferred by students, which are, careful here, because the which refers to what? All right, you have to be careful because it's not really clear what this which refers to. You could have said, namely, biology, geography, and IT. None of the above mentioned subjects won more than 8% popularity each. Again, okay? So, let's see. Of all the subjects compared in the chart, the most not welcome, the most popular, just say it, it's okay. The most popular one is PE, okay? Not which takes up, but at 22.9% of the overall data. On the other hand, IT, on the other hand, was the least popular course, with less than 1/4 of the figure for PE. Another well-received subject was history, which was only 0.5% behind PE, followed by math at 19.5 and physics at 8.1. Another similar pair of figures, S, is biology and geography, which are almost equally preferred by students, with 7.1 and 6.4 popularity, respectively. Okay, so let me tell you what's the problem here. Obviously, there were some grammatical and vocabulary mistakes, but for me, the biggest problem is that there is no overview. Neither one of these paragraphs read like an overview. They both felt like they were detailed paragraphs. So that's not going to allow you to get a 6 in task achievement. Okay, it'll automatically drop you down to a band 5 for task achievement. Then, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest problem. So what could an overview look like for this? Well, you could have said something like PE was the most popular subject, whereas IT was the least popular. And that's it, okay? That's all you need to say. Or you could have said something like 4 subjects took the vast majority of popularity in Germany, or something like that. But again, the point here is that you don't want to use any data, okay? You don't refer to data in an overview, because you're really just supposed to be focusing on the overall image, the overall trend here, okay? So that's what I want you to think about. I felt like these 2 paragraphs were really rather repetitive. I know it's hard to do one of these pie charts because there's actually very little information to work on. I liked what you did at some point. You compared, you compared IT with PE, and that was good. You needed to make more connections like that, okay? So that was the right idea. But for me, I think you probably could have talked about, obviously, introduction, then, of course, overview, and then I think you could have talked and extended quite a bit this whole thing about these 4 topics, okay, about these 4 subjects, and you could have spent another paragraph talking about these 3, and then you can make your nice relevant comparisons, and there's a lot of comparison you can make here. Like, for example, this is 1/7 of PE, or you could say that biology, which is the second most popular subject, was the second least popular, was 1/3 of the second most popular. So you could have made some connections like that to really make it more meaningful and to really kind of develop this even further. Okay? So go ahead and correct these essays, return them back to us, and let's see another set from you. I wish you lots of good luck.